I've been telling them all week, said there's no guarantees.
Coming up on the Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime, Saturday night. Morehead State hosts Butler on homecoming. See if the Eagles could stay undefeated at home. Plus, the football Cats off this week. Good news is they'll have Boom back for the Auburn game next Thursday night.
Like I said, it sucks being able to not go out there and help your team.
Let's take a look at what Kentucky has done so far this season. And we'll check in with the Cumberland's volleyball team.
We want her to just really reach her full potential.
The Patriots have a favorite team member we'll tell you about. Are you ready?
Here's Johnson, the wide receiver. How about that fight? Touchdown!
We're ready. Let's start the show.
Castle Atcher, Somerset quarterback, number 18. Sports Overtime starts now.
No Kentucky football, but hey, we're here.
We're still here.
You got to calm these children down, though. Josh and Lauren's doing pre-game dances, pre-show dances. Goodness. Well, welcome into the Appalachian Wireless Sports Overtime Saturday night. Great to do another show with Lauren Cash.
Even though you make fun of me all the time.
Yeah, a little bit. Your outfit looks good tonight.
Thank you.
I'm Jamie McCracken. If you missed the bug murder on last night's show, no worries. No more bugs. I may sneak one in a little bit and scare Lauren a little bit later.
Anyway, the football Cats off this week. We do have a lot of stories coming up that you'll want to stick around for, including our Sports Overtime Rewind on Lynn Camp's first region championship.
Yeah, great stuff ahead on the show.
Yes, we'll also have some highlights, and that is where we start tonight. The one local college team that was home today, Morehead State.
All right, this is where we throw it over to our sports director, Josh McKinney. He joins us now from the locker room with more. What up, boss?
Well, guys, I appreciate you including me on the show tonight. The Morehead State Eagles back at home this weekend for homecoming. The Eagles pitching back-to-back home shutouts and entered today's game having not allowed a point at home since November 15th of last season. Morehead State hosting the Butler Bulldogs at Jane Stadium for homecoming. I don't think I know. Opening drive for the Eagles. Austin Gahafer the quick out to Justin Cornwall. Cornwall makes a man miss, picks up a chunk of 53 yards down to the Butler 2. Very next play, Rob Harden punches it in for the 2-yard score, 7-0 MSU. Ensuing drive, Butler at the 5-yard line, but Matt Schiltz picked off in the end zone by Justin Greer, but the Eagles could not convert. Now 10-0 in the second. Schiltz to the end zone, and look at the grab by Pace Temple. Make it 10-7. Next Bulldog drive. Following an Eagle punt, Schiltz this time on the option keeper, runs it right down the near sideline, dives across the goal line for the 41-yard touchdown. Butler now leading 14-10. That sets up Morehead State for what will be our Falls Auto Group drive of the night, starting at their own 42-yard line. The Eagles go 58 yards, 6 plays, taking a minute 55 off the clock. Gahafer one completion on the drive, but it goes to Darius Pritchett for 42 yards and a score to give MSU a 17-14 lead. Third quarter we go. Eagles up 10 and driving, but Gahafer picked off by Taylor Wilson, jumps the route, returns it 43 yards to the Morehead 47, but no harm done. Skip to the fourth. Eagles leading by 3, and they go for the throat. Gahafer over the middle to Tanner Napier. Look at the catch in traffic. 44 yards for the game-sealing touchdown. We go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard. Gahafer throws for 363 yards, 3 touchdowns. Morehead State now 2-1 in conference play, 500 overall, 34-21 the final over the Butler Bulldogs.
I've been telling them all week, said there's no guarantees. You know, we played well last week. We came up short. Don't anticipate us going out and just winning because of what we did last week, you know. And so we had to embrace our preparation a little bit this week and prepare for a good football team. And it's ironic because today I said at halftime, Butler has always been a really good second-half team. And they've come back and beaten us a few times in my time here. So, you know, we played a really good team football game, and second half showed that, I think. Offense stepped up, defense stepped up, and we played really well together.
It's huge. You know, we got a bye week this coming up week, so we're going to prepare for Campbell. And, you know, it's big. We haven't beat a team like this in a while, a few years, so we're looking forward to the next challenge in Campbell.
Now, guys, Gayhafer's 3 touchdowns today means he has accounted for 20 total touchdowns this season, 17 passing, 2 rushing, 1 receiving. That ranks him 3rd nationally in that category among all FCS players.
Josh McKinney dropping some knowledge as always on the students, you know, number 2 and number 3.
I'm just glad we're back together.
We're back together.
Thank you, Josh.
Turning our attention now to Conference USA, the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers are rolling.
Absolutely. They're rolling. The Tops welcome Conference USA opponent and old rival from the days in the Sun Belt Conference, Middle Tennessee State. WKU hosting MTSU. Hilltoppers, well, they were honoring the runners-up at the Division II National Championship game in 1975, first quarter. DeAndre Furby, 7-0 Tops. That's how they get it started. Tops far from done, though. Brandon Dowdy, what a day this guy had. Tyler Higbee on the reception. Right down the seam.
Tops
Stiff
love
arm.
their tight ends.
Likes it. Get off me for another 6. More from this explosive offense. Dowdy now finds Nicholas Norris. 21-0. All Tops early on. They're still not done. Still in the first quarter, by the way. Middle Tennessee trying to stay in it. They hand it off to Jeremiah Bryson, and he goes 28 to the house for the score, and it's 21-7. Second quarter now. Let's go back to Dowdy, because like I said, he had a good day.
He did.
Goes to the air again, finds Taiwan Taylor for the score. It's 35-7, all Hilltoppers. Now they get a little trickery.
Trickeration.
Trick or treat early for the Hilltoppers. Not Halloween yet, but check this out. Dowdy to Nicarius Fant, who launches it downfield to Taylor. Wide open. He gone. 42-14 at that point, and the Hilltoppers never looked back. Go to the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard. 3rd straight week, they win 58-28. Dowdy throws all 5 of his touchdowns in the first half.
That's how you do it there, folks. Staying on the Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard, Lindsey Wilson beats Cumberland's 41-19 at home. Lindsey Wilson still with that #1 ranking in Union. Still looking for their first win on this season. They lose on the road at Bethel 58-17. Also, going with the theme of all of our teams on the road, UPike losing on the road against the Campbellsville Tigers, and UVA-Wise on the road against Concord 63-21. They lose.
Everybody went on the road and pretty much everybody lost.
I know, it's really sad. Next on the show, the Kentucky Wildcats are off this weekend, as we said, but they're back on next Thursday against Auburn.
Yeah, it should be fun. The Tigers also off today. Big Blue Nation happy Dorian Baker caught this pass in the win over Eastern Kentucky. We'll look at the ups and downs so far this season before Auburn comes to town Thursday.
You're watching Sports Overtime Saturday night.
Welcome back to the show. The football Cats off this week. Their next game is this coming Thursday night against the Auburn Tigers. We wanted, though, to take a look back at some of what has happened already so far in this week's Inside the Game. 2 wins away from being bowl eligible.
Pulls out of the gun, gives it to Kemp, trying to get outside right, running for the pylon. Touchdown, Kentucky!
But this season isn't about easy wins. No victory by more than 8 points for the football Cats, including the most recent, a 7-point overtime win over EKU.
Hopefully we'll learn from that game and all the close games we've had and be able to handle the emotions of the game. It'll be a fun atmosphere, and we're excited about it.
Next is Auburn, a team that started in the top 10 but is nowhere near there now, like not even ranked.
You need to address the things that you're not doing well, and we're just not playing very good in the front 7 at this time.
The Tigers give up 25 points per game. Just ask LSU's Leonard Fournette how easy it is to score against them.
He's into the secondary, spills that guy, sheds that one. Another touchdown for Leonard Fournette.
Okay, maybe Kentucky doesn't have a guy like Fournette, but they will have.
Look out! He's gone! The first play! 20, 10, 5, boom!
Boom! Williams back after he missed the last game with a personal off-the-field issue.
Yeah, like I said, it sucks being able to not go out there and help your team and knowing that you can go out there and contribute in so many different ways and be able to help those guys. But everybody in this building supported me and helped me get through what I need to get through. And thanks to those guys, because without those guys, I don't think that I would have been able to do it.
Finally, the quarterback situation. Regardless of the inconsistencies by Patrick Tolles and his offensive line at times, you have to think, if it wasn't for Tolles making plays like this.
Right side. Let's see if they come. They do. Cats pick it up. Nice block by Kemp. He floats it down the near side. He's got Bedeck. Pulled down. Touchdown! Kentucky!
Or this. Or, yeah, this.
4th and 2. Tolles looks. He throws it for Baker. Did he get it? Touchdown! Kentucky!
Well, yeah, you get the point. Kentucky probably would not be 4-1.
It's the most scrutinized position in sports, really, as a quarterback at any team. And, I'm always going to get too much of the credit when we win and maybe too much of the blame when we lose. But yeah, it's the nature of opposition, and I think that the more stock I put in what everybody else thinks, the in worse shape I'll be. So, I've got 2 people who I listen to about football, and that's Coach Dawson and Coach Stoops. So I think it's going to stay that way.
All right, Kentucky's next opponent, Auburn, also off as we mentioned this week. Probably a good thing considering the hype around this team coming in to the year was huge and not so much anymore. They're 3-2 on the season, 0-2 in the SEC West. It hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows for the Auburn defense with new defensive coordinator Will Muschamp. The transition not been a smooth one. Coach Muschamp says they've spent this week getting back to the fundamentals and making sure the defense is on the same page. Here's the Wild Man himself.
Very disappointed with our progress as far as that's concerned. So it's not as very inconsistent across the board. Linebacker, defensive line, even on the perimeter in the Mississippi State game, the first drive, not as firm on the edges as we needed to be. So across the board, just blow delivery, taking on blocks, all of the things that sometimes, when you start to get into the season, you start worrying about schematics, you get away from some fundamental things, and we've, been my error of gotten away from some of those things we need to be much better at, much improved at, and we haven't made as much progress as we need to.
All right, here's your game infographic.
Yes, so both Kentucky and Auburn with a week off before Thursday's prime time game on ESPN. Game time set for 7 o'clock from Commonwealth Stadium. The Tigers are 0-2 in the SEC and holding the fort down at the bottom of the West Division. Cats 2-1 in the East behind Florida and Georgia.
I'm excited to go that one. It should be fun no matter what. Up next, highlights from around the SEC. LSU and South Carolina in action. Georgia and Tennessee as well.
First, we'll look at the University of the Cumberland's volleyball team and their strong bond with a young girl. The Cumberland's volleyball team is off to a solid start, and on Tuesday the team hosted their inaugural Rally for Special Education game. All proceeds from the game go to benefit the Williamsburg Independent School District Special Education Fund and to support their favorite team member.
Emma West is not your typical University of the Cumberland's volleyball player. Standing at barely net high, she does have a vicious ready stance and can set with the best of them. But she's only a second grader.
So our last home game, we gave her a jersey. We announced her, as part of our roster. She came actually to our conference tournament at Campbellsville. We did the same thing, and it just kind of turned into this tradition, and she kind of was the inspiration behind this event.
Emma has special needs, and her mother, Jenny West, is a special education professor at UC. One of her students plays on the volleyball team.
For me personally, it's been a blessing.
Samantha Stuckwish is a senior setter, and as a special education major, she says having the opportunity to build a relationship with Emma has shaped her future in the field.
It really started when she started asking me to babysit for Emma. Since I am a special ed major, they knew that I knew what to do and how the kind of patience that it takes to work with a child like Emma does, or Emma is. And so I really grew into knowing their whole family through that way, but especially Emma, because she is always wanting to do something. She's always wanting to play. She always wants to be right up in there with everybody. She wants to be just like everybody else.
For Jenny, it's rewarding to watch her daughter grow into her own and be accepted for who she is.
Emma has gained so much confidence from this relationship with the volleyball team. It sets her apart from the kids at school where she normally struggles a little bit socially and academically. The teachers there, they're wonderful with her, but this gives her something that is her own, that she feels successful at, and it builds her confidence. It gives her something to look forward to.
While it's something for Emma to look forward to, Coach Hart says her players get just as much from the relationship.
I mean, Emma knows who all these girls are, and she, you know, her face lights up when she sees them, and, you know, it's really something I think that has broadened their kind of view of the world.
Broadening a worldview without stepping outside of the volleyball court.
We want her to just really reach her full potential, and along with that, we want her to be happy. So when we see that she is happy and she's having a good time, and we know that she's not worried about her disabilities, that just gives her time to be free from them.
Freeing Emma from the worries of the world and allowing her to be your typical second grader on a college volleyball team.
The volleyball team exceeded their goal of $500 for Rally for Special Education. They raised more than $1,100.
That is an awesome story. I was still staring at the screen. I didn't know it was there. This is good stuff, though. Good stuff.
Thank you. Now we transition to the SEC now. A sad week down in South Carolina.
And historic flooding, I should say, down there.
Yeah, some parts getting as much as 27 inches of rain.
And that affected the LSU-South Carolina game. The Gamecocks were supposed to host the undefeated Tigers, but all ball coach said, no, the game, we just going to move it to Baton Rouge. We're going to do the, you know, that's probably the best option. Here we go.
Was that your imitation of Coach Spray?
All ball coach? Hey, this girl says, God bless you, South Carolina. She was happy. There's the beast himself, Leonard Fournette of LSU. And there's the old ball coach himself. Go second half, LSU up 17-10. Feed the beast. I mean, he's the Heisman frontrunner, right?
Definitely.
Leonard Fournette, 87 yards to the house, 24-17. He had 20 carries for $158 on the ground, and that touchdown right there, LSU fans loving that. Later in the quarter, Brandon Harris to Traven Durrell. 62 yards for a touchdown, 10 plays, 80-yard drive. LSU up 3 touchdowns at that point. Number 7 LSU stays perfect, 45-24 over South Carolina.
All right, number 19, Georgia at Tennessee. Bulldog running back Nick Chubb on the bike. That's because he injures his left knee on the very first play from scrimmage. He leaves the game for the rest of the day. To the first quarter now, no score.
You got to feel bad for him.
Jalen Hurd takes the carry, and there goes the ball. Flies into the air, goes into Leonard Floyd's arms. He goes 96 yards on the fumble return. It's 7-0 Georgia. Vols fans, not again.
Yeah, for real.
Shaking their head. 7-3 after 1 to the second quarter now. Actually, the first play of the quarter. Grayson Lambert to Malcolm, not in the middle, Mitchell, more like Malcolm in the corner of the end zone. I see what he did there. 28 yards for the touchdown pass, 14-3 Bulldogs. Right before the end of the half, Vols down 24-3 now. Oh, but they make a huge comeback starting with this Josh Dobbs to Josh Smith, 39 yards on the hookup.
Hold on, just wait. Ensuing kickoff.
Never a good thing. Georgia has it.
No, they don't.
Georgia doesn't have it. That would be a fumble. Vols have it, and that leads to Alvin Kamara for this touchdown. Vols come all the way back and win 38-31.
That was an unbelievable game to watch in the sports office. Here's what else happened today in the SEC. Mississippi State, the Bulldogs, 45-17 over Troy, and Ole Miss. Oh my goodness. I don't think they weren't happy that they lost last week. I'll just put it that way. 52-3 over New Mexico State. Staying on Highlands Black and Blue Clinic scoreboard, Alabama comes away with the win tonight, 27-14, the number 8 Crimson Tide. They did have a tough one, though, against Arkansas. That was a little bit of a late win.
Yes, a little non-SEC football for your viewing pleasure. The 10th-ranked Sooners traveling south to Texas and the Struggle Bus Longhorns.
You love the word.
Charlie Strong.
Yeah.
First quarter now, scoreless. Gerard Hurd looks like he's about to be tackled behind the line. Somehow gets the corner, and then no one wants to tackle him. 24 yards in for the score. Sorry, Steve Black, no Boomer Sooner in this one. The Longhorns finally have something to cheer about. Give that man a Gatorade bath. Charlie Strong gets a huge home win, 24-17 Texas. Hands the Sooners their first loss of the year.
He might have saved his job with that win. Goodness. After the break, just 3 weeks left of the regular season. We'll recap the district matchups from week 7 of the high school football season.
And the U-Pike men's basketball team has quite the hole to fill as they lost the NAIA Player of the Year to graduation. That guy right there, KJ Manigault. But his former teammates shared some kind words as he presses forward in his professional career.
He could ball. No emojis tonight. I promise. I'm just standing here to do a regular intro. A lot to look forward to in these last couple weeks of the regular season in high school football. Several teams already locked up a district championship last night. Here's a look back at week 7 in this week's Lee's Famous Recipe, Hazard and Whitesburg 2-minute drill.
Hopefully we'll come out, we'll be fast. We'll be fast on the field, be fast everywhere we go, get people to the football on defense, wrap up on defense. Let's make some hits out there.
As we look back at week 7 of the high school football season, you see districts starting to shape up. Let's start with Thursday night's action. Southwestern didn't have the best start by not receiving an opening onside kick by the South Laurel Cardinals. But then the Warriors turned it on, scoring 42 points and winning their 5th straight game. All eyes continue to point to that date with the Pulaski County Maroons in 2 weeks. Our game of the week didn't disappoint, mainly because this catch by Lucas Vance.
Whitaker to throw on first down. He's going for the end zone. What a catch. Touchdown, Leslie County. It's Vance again from 21 yards out.
Leslie County stays perfect with a win over Prestonsburg. The 7-0 Eagles go to Shelby Valley next Friday. Harlan continues its great year in Class 1A. Green Dragons beat Williamsburg and are 6-1. Staying in that Class A District 7, how about the human spaghetti emoji himself? Tucker Woolham leads Pineville to yet another win. The Mountain Lions have outscored their opponents 133-6 in the last 3 weeks. Paintsville did Paintsville things, or more like Kent Phelps did Kent Phelps things. Kid keeps balling. 27 carries, 230 yards, and 3 touchdowns. The Tigers beat Fairview. Interesting storylines in Class 3A. Lawrence County loses its 15th straight to Belfry. Powell County is 3-0 in District 7. Pirates beat Breathitt by 22. And in Class 4A, Rockcastle County scores its most points since September 4th, 36 in a district win over Russell County. Story of the night in Class 5A action we were at is Whitley County's Luke Woods. He runs all over Perry Central in a 24-point win. This has been the Lee's Famous Recipe, Hazard and Whitesburg 2-minute drill. You know what time it is? Big game board time, right?
Big game board time.
Here we go. Next Friday night, Harlan will go for its 3rd straight win when they travel to Link Camp. The Wildcats on a 3-game losing streak. Harlan 6-1 on the year. How about the Larkey Bowl? How about it?
I'm excited about it.
I would be too. Tom Larkey and the Perry Central Commodores and Chris Larkey, his son, and the undefeated North Rural Jaguars, who have already locked up the district. First time since 1994. They did that last night with the win over Letcher Central. Our WYMT Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week takes us to Bell County. Oh my goodness, that's a yummy one. The number 6 Bobcats host number 8 Corbin. Of course, you can watch this game on this TV and WYMT.com. Last year's game went to overtime. Bell went for 2. And then Corbin stopped him and won 21-20, so you can only imagine what's going through the Cats' mind this week. Also, our number 1 team in the mountains takes it on South Laurel as the Maroons look for their 6th straight win. We'll see what Pulaski County can do, I guess, Friday, right?
With that, yeah.
I guess Friday. We'll see. They basically played their JV again last night in the second half against Lincoln County. Now, the U-Pike men's basketball team enters the 2015 season ranked number 1 by the Sporting News, but let's reflect in the past couple of years.
Yes, let's do that. Back-to-back Mid-South Conference regular season champs, reaching the Elite 8 in the NAIA tournament and having the NAIA Player of the Year. This guy, KJ Manigault.
He's kind of good. Back in September, Manigault signed with the AmeriLeague, a new semi-pro league based out of Las Vegas.
Yes, now even though his time wearing the orange and black is over, his former teammates and head coach look back on the impact he had on U-Pike's men's basketball program.
Kenny Manigault transferred from Wichita State to U-Pike in 2013. He played in 23 games as a junior, but it was his senior season that made quite the impact. In 32 games, KJ averaged just more than 19 points and 7 rebounds a game, and led the NAIA in steals with 83 total. While his numbers are impressive, what sticks with his former coach, Kelly Wells, is his transformation off the court.
As far as what we call coaching paychecks, KJ is a coaching paycheck for me. And I've got a handful of people that I've coached that I feel like have really made a transformation to the way we really want them to be. And KJ is one of those guys, and I take great pride in him. And to see him have a chance to be successful really makes those coaching paychecks reality for me.
On the 2014-15 team, Manigault was one of 2 seniors on the roster, meaning a guy who had limited action in his junior season was thrust into a leadership role as a senior. He quickly made his mark on the team.
He's a great player. He's a great guy, great friend, great leader. You know, he showed me how to lead, showed everybody on this team how to work hard, and he definitely put his print on Pikeville. You know, and I commend him on what he's doing. You know, I love him. That's my guy. It's like my brother to me, and I'm proud of him. I know he'll do great.
On and off the court, KJ made an impact on his U-Pike teammates.
Oh, it's awesome. KJ's like a brother to me, you know, and just seeing how hard he worked this summer on top of how hard he worked last year and all the success he gave us as well, because he's a great player. But just seeing how hard he worked this summer and then to finally sign and become a professional, I couldn't be more proud of the guy. I mean, he's a great guy and he deserves everything that's coming his way.
I don't think anybody else deserves it more than KJ. He worked his butt off, and I couldn't be more proud of him as a teammate and as a friend. I think he'll do just fine, and I'm excited for him to see how he ends up playing.
Even though his days representing the orange and black on the hardwood at the East Kentucky Expo Center are over, he's given Bears fans, teammates, and coaches numerous reasons to pull for him in his future endeavors.
All right, now Manigault's current endeavor is playing for the AmeriLeague. As we said earlier, he signed with the league back in September, and on October 22nd is their draft, and he'll find out which team he'll play for.
That's cool. Up next, we rewind back to 2003 and the Lynn Camp Wildcats, their first and only regional championship on the football field, plus pro football.
You know, I don't think you get into comparing players.
The defense that we're going against, the schematically is different.
In tonight's Sports Overtime Rewind, we spotlight the 2003 Lynn Camp Wildcats. The Wildcats sported a 9-5 overall record and won the school's first ever region title against a powerhouse that was all too familiar with the region final stage.
Nobody but nobody would have thought that Lynn Camp and Pikeville would have been knocking on the state semifinal Class A door. Heading into October, Pikeville was just 1-4, but it played an unbelievably tough schedule. In fact, their first 5 opponents all made the playoffs. Lynn Camp was a little better at 3-4, but also had not yet played their best football. Tonight, the Wildcats hosted the school's first region championship game ever.
On paper, this game shouldn't have been close. Lynn Camp making its first ever appearance in the region final, while the Pikeville Panthers were all too familiar with the big stage, having played in 5 of the previous 6 region championship games. Like I said, on paper, advantage Pikeville. And the Panthers jumped out to the early lead off a pass and catch by Eric Sword to Brett Gibson, 6-0 Panthers. Lynn Camp answered with a huge play. Jesse Chafin to Andrew Jackson on the halfback pass, tied up at 6 apiece. Get used to hearing Chafin's name. The Wildcats rushed for a total of 2,604 yards in 2003. And while Dusty Brock led the team in rushing with 1,094 yards and 15 touchdowns in the regular season, Chafin was the big name in this one. Pikeville had a 21-6 lead before he scored on the running back sweep, 21-14 at the halftime break. And then Chafin again tied it up at 21 on yet another run. This one would need overtime to be decided, but the Campers edge out Pikeville 35-28. Brian Milam, take it away.
As we go to the scoreboard, and in overtime, Lynn Camp, the first region championship ever for the Happy Campers, and they are having a huge party at the brand new school, the brand new field, just a couple of years old. Congratulations to Lynn Camp. Pikeville loses the Class A region championship for the first time since '98. Great season on their part. Great season for Lynn Camp. They are moving on to play Beechwood in the state semifinals. Who would have thunk it, huh?
Who would have thunk it is right. In the season before, Lynn Camp went just 4-6 without a playoff appearance. Jump back to 2003, they were primed for a date with Beechwood in the Class A state semifinals. The Tigers bested Lynn Camp 45-12, but for the Wildcats, the 2003 season was filled with milestones that have yet to be touched by any other Lynn Camp squad.
The Wildcats have not reached the region championship game since that overtime win over Pikeville in 03. Fun fact about Lynn Camp, though, is they still have not yet won a district title. Well, as always, if you have any ideas for Sports Overtime Rewind, you can email us at sportsrelease@wymt.com. Next week, Josh McKinney looks back on the 2002 Breathitt County Russell State semifinal game when current Corbin Redhounds head coach Justin Haddix was the quarterback of the Bobcats. Well, up next, Jamie Reed joins me. We'll preview a few of Sunday's NFL matchups and name this week's Play of the Week.
All right, time for our Play of the Week. The Hilltoppers playing a little trick-or-treat before Halloween. Brandon Dowdy throws it over to Nicarius Fant, who launches it then to Tywan Taylor. He gone. Speaking of Halloween, best thing you ever got when you went trick-or-treating?
I'm not going to answer that, but I'll tell you the best costume I ever was Buzz Lightyear in college.
So you didn't have a favorite thing when you went trick-or-treating?
No, I had favorite costumes. I go all out for Halloween.
You didn't like popcorn balls if somebody gave you one of those?
No, I threw those away. Nobody likes popcorn balls. Exactly what our director Jesse just said in my ear.
All right, I just got crushed.
You
Dowdy to Fant to Taylor. That's our Play of the Week. Congrats to them. I quit.
Are you going to read?
Oh, it is my turn to read. Week 5 of the NFL season, the Tennessee Titans coming off a bye week facing the struggling Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, a lot of hype in the preseason for Rex Ryan's Bills, now only 2-2 on the year. But same thing can be said for the Titans and Marcus Mariota, just 1-2 on the young season. Head coach Ken Wisenhunt said the bye week was good for his team to heal up, but also for the offense to get back on the same page. Wisenhunt was asked in his weekly news conference about Bills QB Tyrod Taylor and how he compares to Mariota.
Yeah, I don't think you get into comparing players. I mean, Tyrod's had a good season so far. He's done a lot of nice things, and that's a credit to him. It's a credit to their coaches and how they've done things. He does present problems from his mobility, and he's done a nice job with his throws. So we've got to be really good in trying to counter that.
All right, meanwhile, the Green Bay Packers have steamrolled to a 4-0 start. Jordy Nelson, of course, tore his ACL in the preseason. Randall Cobb also banged up from the preseason, so wide receivers for the Green Bay Packers. But again, they're 4-0. Cobb was limited in practice Wednesday. The list goes on and on for Green Bay, but they had this guy named Aaron Rodgers. He's kind of good, and he makes things happen. They host the Rams this week.
I don't know. I mean, I play the same way. I've never had a favorite receiver that I force the ball to. I go through my progressions and look for the open guys and try and make the proper reads. It's different without Jordy there, obviously, because he was open more times than anybody else, and he got the lion's share of the targets last year. But spread it around a little bit. Obviously, we had some difficulty without Devontae last week, and a couple of our guys still playing through some stuff. But James had a nice day. Randall fought through his injury and did some good things. Richard probably had his best game for us this season, and we just got to keep on plugging away.
The Cincinnati Bengals try for 5-0 this week for the first time since 1988. They're going to have to get past the Seattle Seahawks and that Legion of Boom defense. That being said, the Bengals have had success on their home field, and quarterback Andy Dalton says he sees similarities between the defense he practices against and the Seattle defense and believes that will help on Sunday.
The defense that we're going against, schematically is different. The ability, the type of players, how fast and how hard our guys play, I think is real similar. The people that we have here, play that way. I feel like similar style, but from a pure schematic standpoint, it's different.
All right, we're continuing this popcorn ball argument here in a second. Thursday Night Football on WYMT continues this Thursday. It's my favorite graphic of the night, as always. It's an NFC South divisional game between the undefeated Atlanta Falcons and the 1-3 New Orleans Saints. Coverage, it begins at 8 o'clock. Kickoff set for 8:25, and as always, you can watch this game on WYMT. It's Thursday Night Football. Woo! All right, that wraps up the show. I won't be here next week because I get to go watch professional basketball players.
I hope you get to eat some popcorn balls while you're in Rep Arena.
I'm just saying, they weren't my favorite thing. My favorite thing was like Snickers or Reese's, really.
So did you judge me and you thought that my favorite was a popcorn ball?
Okay, maybe.
Yeah, the NBA in Lexington, bye Jamie, as the Kings take on the Pelicans next week.
I bet you old Boogie Cousins likes popcorn balls. Boogie, Anthony Davis, Rajon Rondo, Willie Cauley-Stein, several former Cats coming back to play on their former home floor. There's a bug. There's a bug right there.
I've never been judged so hard in my life. That ends this show. Good night.